It is currently 6:36 p.m. on January 4th. Hi, my name is Makaya. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back to my podcast called Evolutions, where I come on here and talk about myself and I rant and I talk about things that I learned or that I'm currently learning and some things that I struggle with as well. So I'm about to start a new segment on here, which I literally just thought about like 20 minutes ago. I'm an anime watcher. I love me some fucking anime. I love. Like, I don't think you can even like understand. One of my faves is One Piece. Like, I feel like if your favorite anime is not One Piece, like, what are you really doing? Because we all know One Piece is in the top 3 and it's a fact. Anyway. Have I finished One Piece though? No, not at all. I'm literally like on like, I think I'm in 700. I think I'm around 700 going on 800. Not entirely sure. I'm at the arc where Luffy goes, never mind. Let me not even spoil it. For the people that are watching, just know that I'm around episode 700. I have not finished it, but honestly, it's one of the best animes that I've ever seen. But that's not what I'm currently watching. I'm currently watching Snow White with the red hair. And this segment, I'm kind of like just bringing up like some anime that I watched and something that I really like about the anime. I like the anime. One, I watched dub. I know a lot of y'all gonna come at me for this. A lot of y'all gonna come at me for this, but I like watching dub. But I have no problem with watching sub. But I'm just like, if there's dub, I might as well. Sorry. But no, seriously, like I like watching dub, but I could watch sub. Like there's a few shows that I've watched in sub. And one thing that I really appreciate while watching the show is that the girl who dubs my bitch Shiryuki does not sound like a whining ass hoe. Like, if you watch a lot of subs sometimes, but mainly dubs, like, if you watch dubs, you know that the main protagonist voice can be very fucking annoying and very shrilly. And I feel like that's in a lot of Japanese shows, period. But sometimes it gets really annoying, especially if it's in English. And I'm just like, yo, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this bitch, her voice sounds annoying. But Shiryuki, she actually sounds like a regular, normal fucking person. Like, she's very fucking likable, and that's what I really can enjoy about the show. It's really good. I feel like the plot is amazing, the characters are amazing. I'm so upset that there's no season 3. I just started season 2 like today because I've just binge watched season 1 like yesterday, and I'm really loving it. I love the love story that's going on here. Like, it's just so good. I don't read manga, but after I finish, I'm going to probably have to read some manga, the rest of the manga of this, because there's just no way that I can just leave it like this. It's just too good for me to just leave it where it is. But yeah, that's a new segment that I want to start. I'll come up with a segment, but I think that'll be like to really either mainly start, because once I won't be able to end it on the anime part, but to start off, I would like to, like little talk or whatever. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. So, getting into today's topic, I guess, would be other people seeing you or other people recognizing your journey, right? This happened to me. I don't know, like, it just popped into my head, or like as soon as I got finished, before the thought of introducing anime topics into my podcast. I just had a thought about a few weeks ago how my sister, she's actually, I wouldn't say she started on her spiritual journey. I feel like she's been on her spiritual journey for a minute, but she's actually now honing and getting that down packed for herself and breaking generational curses and stuff like that. And truth be told, that's kind of one of the things that I wanted for everybody in my family when I left. One of the reasons that I knew that I had to go was because I felt like my presence was kind of, I wouldn't say holding them back, but I felt like it made them stagnant, so they couldn't grow to their fullest potential. I feel like that's with anybody. I wouldn't say overstayed my welcome, but that's kind of how it felt. And I really felt like none of my siblings were able to grow past me or like just grow with me on this on the journey that I was on. Because I would constantly preach to my sister spirituality, but she would never take it in account to herself. And it wasn't until literally like a few days after I left, she started doing it. And I'm so happy. I'm so proud for her. So she's reading this book. I forgot what it's called, but it's something to do with spiritual practices. Not spiritual practices, but more like healing and stuff like that, right? She told me, we were having a conversation. She told me that a lot of the things that she's learning in her books, she sees reflected in me. And that really made me feel happy, and it made me feel proud of myself and proud of her as well for recognizing that, but mainly proud of myself for being that kind of person that they talk about in the books. You know, like, of course I'm not trying to be conceited in any way. I have a few, I wouldn't say mental health books, but I have a few books that I've read and learned from that definitely I wanted to be like, but I wanted to implement the things that they taught me from these books. And I didn't realize how they manifested within me until she brought it up. And I can't even be more thankful or more grateful that I've had these experiences, and for her to be able to recognize that in me, that makes me so proud of myself, knowing that the journey that I've been on since the end of 10th grade, going on 11th grade, like this long journey that I've been on, someone recognizes and someone sees that growth within me. And I feel like that's a beautiful thing, you know? I can sit up here and literally talk about how I've grown and all that stuff, but I don't feel like that would really matter. I mean, not that it wouldn't matter, but I feel like in this particular instance, it's not what I've done, but it's more like the fact that someone can see that it's reflected on my outside, like that's part of my character. I remember she said, she hears me talking about like boundaries and telling people more no, and like, keeping to myself and expressing myself in a certain way, or not. She didn't say not letting things get to you, but like the way that I assert myself. She says that she was trying to figure out when all of this happened. Like, when did I become this person? Or like, have I never talked about it and stuff like that? And I told her that these are just, I told her that the journey is long. And once you learn something and you really, I wouldn't say work at it, I would just really say like, believe that this is something that's meant for you, it comes to you. It's so crazy how I would read, I had this book, I forgot what it's called. I think it's called Forgiveness Now or something like that, where the book is on like a 21-day journey. I bought this like in the middle of the summer. And actually when I came back from Peer Forward, I kind of stopped writing with it because like, I don't know, I just didn't, not that I didn't feel connected, I just stopped. And what I learned definitely was very important, and I enjoyed it with a passion, but I just stopped. And seeing that, just thinking about the book now, just thinking about how some of the things that I read, I somehow unintentionally do a lot of these things that the book is telling me that, you know, forgive and like keeping your head up and all that stuff, forgiving yourself and things like that. Earlier today, I hurt my own feelings a little bit. Before I even noticed that I had hurt my own feelings, I caught myself. I called myself a dodo. And, you know, like, people, you know, constantly talk about themselves, like, you know, I'm so hard-headed, I'm so stupid, blah, 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 blah. I try not to say those words to myself, because even if I'm not feeling it physically, my ego's not feeling it, my spiritual self is feeling it. So even if it could be the most unintentional, like calling myself hard-headed or calling myself a dodo, it hurts. And the way that I'm able to recognize that is crazy. So I said me being a dodo, and as soon as I caught myself calling myself a dodo, I apologized to myself, because I'm like, that wasn't fair and that wasn't right. It wasn't me being a dodo. It was just me not, it was just, I just didn't think I would need it. And that was it, you know? And I did this while she was on the phone, and I hope that she was able to recognize that calling yourself names does not help you when you're trying to heal. You're trying to get past the people that called you names, called you hard-headed for doing something so simple. So simple. You know, like think back when you were a kid. I don't know if this could be everybody's parent, but I feel like a lot of Black people could relate when their parents would call you hard-headed or call you stupid, and in some cases retarded, for doing the most simplest things that didn't require them to call us a name. I've had that happen a few times in my life, like most of us have, and I never got an apology for it. So the fact that I called myself a dodo, I caught myself and apologized to myself for it, and actually truly meant it, shows growth. Shows that I'm learning something, that I'm doing something about these generational curses, And I feel like that's so important, and I'm glad that my sister's able to recognize that within me. And I told her, I said, well, I'm glad that I've been an inspiration, because I feel like that's definitely important. And even as much as I don't really care too much about being an older sibling, to know that I'm still seen as a role model for them, I guess I really never realized the impact that I had on my siblings in a positive way rather than a negative way. As most of you know, I do live in Seattle. My family lives in New York City right now, in the Bronx. I told my little sister that I was coming to visit since like November, and she's been waiting my arrival. She even had my sister write it on the calendar for her so that she'll know when I'm coming. And she's so excited. My sister told me that she's literally counting the days, and I think that's so cute. Of course they miss me, and of course I miss them a lot, because I wouldn't say that it gets lonely here, but it's so quiet. I love my peace. I'm fucking enjoying the peace that I get by just being alone and being by myself. But sometimes, the little rowdiness of the house can really spice up a conversation real quick. But I don't miss the constant yelling and bickering at all. So it's nice because I always thought that, my impact or like just my presence kind of, I wouldn't say brought a negative aspect to the household, but I've just felt like I never impacted them in a positive way. And now that I'm away, I'm actually seeing how much I affect them and how much positivity our relationship has gained from it, especially me with my second sister. We didn't have the best relationship. And that's mainly my fault. I was going to say it's not my fault, but let's be real. It mainly was my fault, but she could also be a fucking bitch, so it was her fault too. But I'll take responsibility. It was definitely my fault. And so even like before I even left, our relationship started getting a little bit stronger. And when I did leave, our relationship has gotten a lot better. And I see her now, I see her. Maybe not like 1,000% clearly, but a good 75%. That 25% is still a little bit blurry, but that's the things that she holds deep inside her. But yeah, I never realized how much my presence made an impact positively on my siblings. And even though being the older sister, you're the role model, you set the example, yada yada yada, I still always thought that my presence was negative. So knowing that it's positive actually makes me happy. It makes me happy a lot. So I'm very thankful and very grateful for that. I think it should be like a proud moment for myself that everything that I've been practicing for years is truly in fruition at this particular time. I am the woman, one of the few women that I've wanted to be in my life. There's a few women I want to be in my life, and every few years, I'm taking another step. I'm taking another step to reach that goal, to reach that achievement of me becoming a specific kind of woman. And not a specific kind of woman, but more of a woman that I would be proud of, that I know I could be proud of, someone that I've always wanted to be, fully being aware and actually accepting that for myself, and seeing that come into fruition is like, wow. Makaya, wow. You are an inspiration. And I would also like to mention how my impact affects other people as well, not just my family. I don't know, like, when I'm a star. That was so random, so weird, but it came across my head, so I had to say, I'm a star. I am a shining beacon of hope. I'm fire. I'm that lone star in the sky that everybody looks to when needing answers. And I don't take that as like a conceited ass way. It's more of like, I'm just thinking of all the interactions I ever had with people, and people telling me literally how like they're inspired by me, or they love being around me. They love my personality. They think that I'm amazing, like I'm a great person. And for me, I think it's beautiful that people are able to see me in that kind of way. Because for years, I never thought that I could see myself in that kind of way. Or if people were to even tell me that, I wouldn't be able to accept it. But I am. And I think, like I said, I think that's really beautiful. It's important to recognize the power that I literally hold just by talking to people. I'm gonna keep saying, I think that's really beautiful. And Micaiah, I really think you're beautiful right now, because wow, you're a star, baby. You are a star. And with that realization, this episode has come to an end. I want to thank everybody for sitting here and listening to me talk and rant and like go in so many different directions of the conversation, but all coming to the same cohesive point. I don't know. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. I appreciate it. All much thanks. I hope that your New Year's was amazing. And if you don't celebrate the American or like the world's New Year's, happy Lunar New Year. I think that's what it's called, or happy just New Year. I'm not entirely sure. I should really do my own research, but I have not. But happy Lunar New Year to everybody, and I hope that you have a very blessed 2023. It's gonna be a year of opportunities and miracles and clarity for a lot of us here. And I am embracing that to the fucking fullest with a smile on my face and being grateful to see another year. Yeah, so I'm just gonna end this right here.